reached out to her to get any sort of explanation from her for thinking this is a good idea, but and she chose to completely ignore it.
It's too
Yes, I am worried that my husband didn't think this.
Our art should have a deep
Nothing
meaning.
done by ignoring that.
And
But
no,
Hope
it's not a good
was
because look,
was to just show that no normal person with good intention
What
would
about
this
do
one?
something
I think it looks
so
amazing.
for a friend to
Look at
encourage
the
someone who is
man.
going to do this with.
May, okay ra?
Long ago and far away, I dreamed.
Before World War II, Manila was a city of grace and tranquility, often called the Pearl of the Orient, for its blend of Spanish colonial charm and modern progress. The streets of Intramuros echoed with the soft clatter of horse-drawn calesas, while the grand neoclassical buildings of Escolta and Ermita stood as symbols of economic prosperity. It was a city thriving of culture, trade, and camaraderie, an era of serenity soon to be shattered by the storm of war.
The enemy had orders from the Imperial High Command. Hold Manila or burn it. The torch was put to those parts of Manila the Japs could no longer hold.
Manila was left in ruins, and sorrow hung heavy in the air. Once a city of grace, it became a landscape of destruction, churches reduced to rubble, grand buildings turned to ashes, and streets littered with the remnants of a brutal battle. Manila was once the Pearl of the Orient, had become a city of ghosts, its people left to pick up the shattered pieces of their home and their hearts. Just imagine if you were Amorsolo. You're walking through a city, wrecked by war, everything's falling apart. But then, right in the middle of the chaos, you see a young woman cradling her baby, lit in the soft golden light. That's what Amorsolo is showing us, a moment of hope in total destruction. After the onset of World War II, Amorsolo's typical pastoral scenes were replaced by the depictions of a war-torn nation. During the Japanese occupation of the Philippines during World War II, Amorsolo spent his days at his home near the Japanese garrison, where he sketched war scenes from the house windows or rooftops. Fernando Amorsolo y Cueto was born on May 30, 1892, in Metro Manila. His parents were Pedro Amorsolo and Bonifacia Cueto. His father quickly found work in Daet Camarines Norte months after Fernando's birth, and the family lived there until his father died when Amorsolo was 11. Amorsolo was a portraitist and a painter of rural Philippine landscapes, nicknamed the Grand Old Man of the Philippine art. He was the first ever to be recognized as a national artist of the Philippines. He was recognized as such for his pioneering use of impressionistic technique, as well as his skill in the use of lighting and backlighting in his paintings. Significant not only in the development of the Philippine art, but also in the formation of Filipino notions of self and identity. Hope in the Ruins of Manila is Amorsolo's artwork, considered to be his masterwork among other of his work in varied oeuvre. His painting was executed in 1945 during the Japanese occupation. His painting was said to be his documentation of the pain, suffering, and tragedy as Amorsolo's witness of the event firsthand. In the background, there is death around with fired smoke painted in strong red and gray hues of signifying the bloodshed and doom that was pervading the country due to the occupation. However, the sky is clear to the left, as you can see, done in the artist's typical use of chiaroscuro, highlighting the interplay of light and dark, which seems to symbolize hope and the promise of better times ahead. The main figure. In the foreground is a Filipino lady cradling a baby protectively to her bosom, while still moving forward, standing proudly and tall as a symbol of hope and bravery. Amorsolo paints her as well, with an expression of hope and courage in the face of such adversity. To a certain extent, the Filipino lady could be the artist's own interpretation of the country itself, standing proudly and defiantly and witnessing the tides turn with the end of the war. Approaching there is a sense of hope and optimism with the promise of new birth for the country that from the depth of such despair that the indomitable spirit of Filipino people will not be quenched but will continue on. Positive things about the artwork. Hope in the Ruins of Manila beautifully captures the resilience of the human spirit amidst destruction. Amorsolo's use of warm lighting contrasts with the devastation, symbolizing optimism and renewal despite adversity. Negative things about the artwork. While the painting conveys hope, it may romanticize the aftermath of war, softening its brutal realities. Additionally, the composition primarily focuses on individual resilience, leaving out the broader struggles of Manila's people during the time. Rating of the artwork. This painting deserves a 9 out of 10 for its emotional depth, historical significance, and masterful use of light. However, its slightly idealized portrayal of post-war suffering may not fully capture the extent of the tragedy. Recommendations of the artwork. To enhance historical realism, the artwork could incorporate more elements of destruction and struggle beyond the central figures. A wider representation of the war's impact on different social classes might provide a comprehensive narrative. I am May Francesca Guhaco. Thank you for staying with us as we witness the enduring spirit of resilience and hope during the aftermath of war, represented by the hopeful imagery of Hope in the Ruins of Manila by Francisco Amorsolo. Through his masterful use of light and shadow, Amorsolo transforms devastation into a testament of strength, proving that even the darkest times, hope shines through. His artistry immortalizes the struggles and perseverance of the Filipino people, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest painters of the Philippines industry.
So, di ba patok-patok meron siya deadline sa niya. Tapos ang matawa dyan
Can you all stop and please cooperate? Apit na ba ang deadline nga project?
di ba last week pa maningan ang karapaman mo.
Well, last week we were all busy. There were a lot of things to pass.
Uy, kami na uwi. Kumano na dapat tinatok? Happy na ba yung deadline? Kaniyo na ano man eh? Basta. May, okay na ni siya kay Francisco Amorsolo ni siya. Hope in the Ruins of Manila. Okay na ni siya?
Okay na, ako na bahala.
Sige. Tara na. Amin na lang. Bibili na lang naman niya. Send din na lang niya sa GC. Ha? Thank you.